Hello everybody, this is Ricky. I'm coming back out to my hives. It's been 2 weeks since I added a super to the top of this hive, and I also added some small hive beetle traps. So thanks to those of you who have been watching my videos, and I've appreciated your comments. Today, it's 2 weeks later, I'm coming out to check some things. Here's what I hope to find. One, I hope to find that the small hive beetle situation is under control. I do have some extra traps and some extra oil on hand if I need to replace them. And I've got another super, a shallow super ready. So what I've done though, I've taken this super, give you an example. This is a shallow super frame. It's filled with a wax foundation. I've added though some sugar water in this bottle. I just sprayed it on either side just to give them a little motivation to climb up higher to do some work on this new frame. So if this works out well, I will end up on this one hive having a shallow super that you see white, a medium super that's blue, and I'm about to add a third, hopefully, white shallow super. So if that all goes well, what that will translate to be would be about 20 to 25 pounds of honey in this shallow super, about 40 pounds of honey in this medium super, and another 20 to 25 pounds of honey in the additional shallow super I'm going to add, assuming they fill all of that up. So that's all good signs, a really good day. To translate that to you, about 48 pounds of honey is equal to 5 gallons of honey. So that's quite a bit we're looking at. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this next installment. I'm going to get to work, and I'm going to try to move the camera a little bit closer as I get started today so that maybe you can get a better look at what I see as we get into this. So here we go. I'd also like to note a couple of other observations I've been making. This weak hive to my back has actually shown a little more progress, a little more activity in the last week or two. So that's a good sign. I'm going to check that one as well. I do not have another super prepared to put on that, but if it's ready, I'll add that early next week. Some signs that this hive has, the main hive has produced a lot of honey, is the bees are a little more aggressive. When I've come out the last couple of days, I've got stung several times because their guard bees are coming out, basically warning me don't come close. So it's a good sign, I think. It's about 10:45 in the morning on a hot, late June day. It's very hot. I'm already sweating. But I got my smoke ready. I've got my little hive tool ready because these get really sticky. They almost glue them together. I'm gonna have to break them apart. So here we go. Enjoy. They immediately get noisy because they don't like the sound of all this. A lot of activity up here on the top, which is a very good sign. Just gonna let them know I'm coming. This is a ventilation spacer I have added. Just gonna set that right here. Very sticky. They've glued this together well. Gonna puff of smoke inside. See what's happening. I'll bring you in closer so you can see. Here you can see the top of my hive. This is the first hive that I've put in. I can see from my angle that they're building these out very nicely. First thing I'm going to check though is this here. Can you see this? It is full of small hive beetles. I see a couple crawling around. I'm going to pull these away where I'll eliminate them later. I don't see any small hive beetle activity up here. They're working in this corner over here. I don't know if you can see them. Looks like they're trying to keep one of them trapped in jail. They like to use these corners over here for the prisons. So there may be some small hive beetles down in there. Here's one here that I'm going to go ahead and kill. That's very encouraging. I see a lot less activity. I'm going to open up one of these center frames and let's see how well they've built it out. We got a lot of work going on here. They have been some busy bees. Look at this, would you? Can you see that closely? You can see where they've built out these frames very nicely. Some things I'm looking for, you can see right in here, this is all built out comb. You can see maybe the reflection of some of the glistening where this is filled with nectar. Over here where the white is, this is capped. So they're already working to turn that into honey. That's a really good sign. I'm gonna check a couple of the frames. Hang on, girls. You're not very happy with me. They're doing great. This has been a very healthy hive from the very beginning. Excuse me, little girl. You stay slow and move gently, they'll do the same. Here's kind of the similar situation that you can see. I've got a lot of built out comb, some capping going on here. They haven't built it out completely all the way around. So I flip it over, kind of a similar situation. They haven't completely built out this all the way around and it's not capped. What that tells me is we are not quite ready to add another super on the top of this hive. What we're really looking for is they've got it built out and they're already starting to cap it. So we're really close, not quite ready yet though. I'm gonna take a peek, however, into this other. Just getting ready to give myself a place to put it. I want to look underneath this box to see if it's capped underneath there yet. It's kind of a challenging dance to give them the space they need at a good pace of which they're able to build, because you don't want them to get overcrowded, but you want to leave them, you just want to add at the pace that they can keep up with. If you go too fast, they can not build out the combs because they're always naturally going to work up. If you go too slow, they can get overcrowded and want to leave you, which I experienced that last year and definitely do not want to do that again. This is a very heavy, very heavy. I'm just going to smoke the bottom of this. I don't want to kill those bees there. May have sacrificed a bee or two. Okay, so now the small hive beetle activity looks really good down in here. I'm gonna see if you can see this a little bit better. There we go. So now what I see, the difference in this is a lot of capped honey. I do see some small hive beetle activity working down in here, which is not what I had hoped to see, actually. Yeah, they're hanging out underneath this trap. Looks like they're wanting to do is get under the lip of these traps and hang out. So I'm going to pull up one of these. What we should see is it built out a lot more, and God willing, this honey here will already be capped. If that's the case, that means this is honey I will get to eat. And yes, they did just sting me through this shirt. That was not comfortable. Look at that. All capped honey, ready to enjoy. That is beautiful, 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 beautiful. That's what I hope to see. What I will begin to discuss with some old timers now is that honey that I should go ahead and harvest, or is that honey that I should wait and let sit? Because knowing that I've got small hive beetles already in place, it may be wise for me to go ahead and harvest this honey and not run the risk of the small hive beetles eating it. I do not want them to come in and eat what I've been working hard to produce. Many people are starting to ask, hey Ricky, will you have honey to sell? Well, that's still to be determined. I don't yet know. If I had to guess, I would say probably will not. My family uses a lot of honey on a regular basis. It is in all likelihood this first year, my honey will be for me and my 3 girls and maybe some immediate family. And that may be the extent of what I'm able to produce this year. But really, truthfully, it remains to be seen, because if they end up filling up all 3 of these supers, then we're in good shape. Here's what I'm going to do today. Because that hive underneath is already fully capped, and because this one is almost capped, I'm going to go ahead and add that other super. In theory, I should not do that, but if I don't add it today, that means I'm going to have to open this hive up in another week, which at this time of year, I really don't want to do that often. So I think I may go ahead and add the other hive, the other super on the top of this, and minimize having to open it up again. Let me scoot you back. So hopefully that's giving you a better perspective to appreciate what I see and what I get to experience. Again, I'm not doing this by the book, but I don't want to disturb them too much. Come on, girls. Come on in. Come on inside. They like to sit on those edges. I'll go and add a trap here. This will help them. I have been noticing a lot of bearding on this hive at night, which if you follow me on Instagram, I've shown a picture of that, where there will be thousands of bees on the outside of this hive at night. That's an example of them cooling off in the evening, but also could potentially be a sign of them overcrowding. So because I know this is already such a strong hive, and they're already slightly crowded, I feel okay adding this probably a 1 week earlier than I should. You may wonder what it feels like to get stung. It hurts. I get stung pretty good bit. More so this year than last year, but that's because I have more bees to contend with. But it does hurt a little bit less every time I do it. They say that your body begins to build up immunities to that. Add their spacer to keep them cool. Checking for any small hive beetles I might need to kill, and trying to prevent crushing any of them on the top. This hive here is now getting very tall. I'll take a pan back and take you a picture of it later. But I now got one bottom brood box, their brood chamber, another full-size brood box for their winter food, a shallow super that's already full, that'll be mine, a medium super that's almost full, that'll be mine, this shallow super that they still have time to fill up for me and maybe you. Let's come over and check this other hive.